For someone like myself who's new to FDA, it was a good opportunity to meet some of my colleagues who are all in training. Also with industry to see what's going on with developing new standards, competencies, and seeing where I fit into the FSMA process.
Well, I think the training is important for all of us. From my perspective at USDA, we really do need for all the programs to be coordinated, to be at a certain standard, to be at a certain level. So I'm glad to be here, glad to be supporting the efforts.
I think it's great. I just know there's a lot of work going into this. I've learned a lot about what goes into training, putting on good training and solid. The one thing I do have concern, I love the framework and the direction that's going as far as a state standpoint.
I would say the amount of work they've already put in, invested in this, I didn't realize that they have gotten as far as they have. So very happy to see that it's moving along and that there's a lot of interest in this. So.
I'm not a training developer. I am someone who takes advantage of training, both for staff and myself. But, I thought that, it's really kind of the anatomy of the process, that kind of understanding, and really kind of a role where leadership can actually, help in the process of course selection, development, and I guess encouragement of the learning process.
Es bueno lo que venimos a aprender. Agradezco mucho a las autoridades de FDA porque den esta oportunidad para que podamos aprender más y poder replicarlo en nuestros países, en nuestras regulaciones, en lo que hacemos a diario para proteger la salud.
The Training Summit is, for me, it's an ultimate goal thing. When we first started licensing environmental health practitioners in North Dakota, it was a shoot and holler shit approach to providing training. This is going to organize that training and going to give us a uniform product. So I'm all in on that.
Well, as far as the training education for AAFCO, we have bits and eights. And I've talked to Jim Fear about this a little bit, but making that standardized.
Biggest takeaway is that there is a process. It may be not fully developed yet, but coming from other organizations in DOD, I think this is a very good step forward.
The big takeaway is uniform training that we know works.
The biggest thing is to make us realize how much more we need to do to improve our training system.
The big takeaway is that evaluations matter.
So far, it's interesting to know the different systems with FDA because I don't work directly with FDA and working with the states and how the states and the feds are going to be interacting.
The takeaway here is everybody's pulling in the same direction. You've got a lot of dedicated and committed people doing good work across the nation and actually across the world with some of the international partners we've got here. So this is fantastic that everybody wants to be going in the same direction.
Absolutely. I'd come back next week if you were doing it. So.
Yes, very definitely. And I'll bring a counterpart that's in the training branch from our division as well.
Absolutely. If I'm invited.
I will probably send somebody else because I hope to be retired by this time next year.